Hi everyone, it's Charlene Reinhardt, and I'm sure you know what today is. It is Money Mondays. Get ready to start your week off with some great money insights to get you going and get you on the right track for this week. And this week we'll be going into a new month. So get ready to end September strong. We are coming to you every week with different insights for Money Mondays. Who is ready for Money Mondays? Type in the comments and let me know you're ready. Say ready and let me know where you are from. Where are you calling in from right now? I am Charlene Reinhardt. I've been hosting Money Mondays on the I Am Beautiful Facebook Live page for about, I believe, 3 weeks. This is probably my 4th week. I'm so excited to be here and sharing money insights. Today we are talking about going from debt to dividends. Specifically, we will be focusing on how to earn an extra stream of income instead of companies getting extra streams of income from you. We are here to change it all up. Warren Edwards, ready? Yes. Robin Kelly, ready? Yes. From Pennsylvania. Okay, let's go. Who else is on the line? Let me know you're ready. Let me know if you are ready to screw debt and start getting dividends. Dividends are an extra source of income that you get from companies. So all of those companies that you are using every day, think about it. What companies are you using? These are the companies that you can make money from every month or quarter. So type in the comments and let me know where you are tuning in from. Right now, share this with your friends because we are sharing valuable information. Too many people are in credit card debt. Last week, we talked about the impact of credit card debt, right? We talked about how a lot of people are facing this right now, especially during the pandemic. We talked about how credit card debt is one of the top categories of consumer debt behind mortgage debt, student loan debt. You have your auto debt and credit card debt. So I hope you are ready. Keep typing in ready in the comments because let's get this started. Anissa Queenmaker is on the line. She is the director of the Miss Corporate America pageant that is held every year in Orlando, Florida. So glad to have you here, Miss Queenmaker. Warren Edwards said, screw that and get dividends. That's what it's all about. Yes. Candy Bryan, thanks for sharing. Everyone, share this with 10 of your friends because you want friends who are on this journey with you. You want friends who are not talking about, oh, I have debt issues. You want to be able to discuss all the different forms of income that you are getting from companies, the dividends. That's what you want to be able to discuss with your friends, right? Not debt all the time. Let's change the story. Let's change the direction of our money so that we can benefit from the money that flows in our pockets. I'm glad you're loving it, Candy. Candy is in Florida as well. Candy Bryan. Deborah Sam is always ready. Yes, thank you for participating. Okay. Now, when we talk about earning an extra stream of income, there are so many ways to do it. You can earn an extra stream of income from rental properties, from interest, from stocks, from dividends, from royalties, from profit. These are all the ways you can earn an extra stream of income. But today we are going to talk about how companies have been earning an extra stream of income and how you can earn that as well. So how many people have a credit card debt? Do you like your credit card and do you like credit cards? Type in the comments, credit cards, are they good or bad? Let me know what you think about credit cards. So it's very interesting to hear the different perspectives that people have about credit cards. Some people have 10, 12, 15 credit cards. Others have 1 or 2 credit cards and they are like, credit cards are the devil. I want to stay away from credit cards. How are you feeling about credit cards? Leave a comment and let me know. Credit cards good or credit cards bad? So I spent my career working in financial services for a bank and I got to see how the bank makes money. One of the ways in which banks make money is through credit cards. Remember that money that you pay? Robin Kelly said, bad. Warren Edwards, credit cards are good. They are a tool. See, there are a lot of different perspectives. Some people say they're good. Some people say they're bad. Now, if you got your credit cards in college, how did you feel about it? You probably thought you had $1,000 extra, $2,000 extra to spend, and you went shopping. Didn't realize you had to pay that money back. If you don't pay that money back, guess what happens? Credit cards become bad, and that's how companies make money off of you. Cheryl Watkins said, credit cards are bad. I'm going to show you a different perspective, because when it comes to credit cards or any other form of debt or income, remember this. I want you to remember this. Someone is always making money and someone is always losing money. Which side of the equation are you on? So when we talk about credit cards, big companies, credit card companies and banks are typically making a lot of money. Why? People don't pay their bills in full. Do you believe in paying your bills in full? If you believe in paying your credit card bills in full every month, type in full, F-U-L-L, if you believe in paying your credit cards in full every month. Or if you don't right now and you plan to do that soon so that you can change how much money you're giving up, type that in the comments. Let us know how you are feeling about credit cards. Anissa Queenmaker said, good and bad. Good because it helps you build your credit. If balances are kept under 30%, and bad if you abuse it and keep balances up to the credit limit. Go, Anissa. Okay, giving us both perspectives. I love it. Jennifer Willis said, bad but good to have when you travel or need to get a rental. Just pay it off right away to avoid charges and fees. Oh, let's talk about those travel credit cards. I love travel credit cards, Jennifer. Last year, I used travel credit cards and dividends to travel to 7 countries. Last summer, I was like, you know what? Let me book a one-way flight. Let me use my credit cards and dividends to make this happen. Warren Edwards said, someone is always making money and someone is always losing money. Which side of the equation are you on? Yes. Okay. So let's go back to companies and credit cards. So what I noticed when I was working for a big bank is they make millions of dollars a day from people using credit cards. How they get fees, interchange fees, but they also get the interest income. So every time you don't pay your credit card in full, guess what? You're paying interest. You're paying the bank money to allow you to make payments on that credit amount every month. You're paying for it. So if you owe $100 and you don't pay it off in full, the bank is like, okay, let me get interest for this. Let me get 10% interest. Let me get some form of interest. Let me get some form of money so that I can get a recurring stream of income, right? So the bank is getting a recurring stream of income and you're losing money. People don't realize every time you don't pay the credit card companies in full, you're paying extra money. So that $100 balance that you initially took out, guess what? That $100 balance has turned into maybe a $500 balance because you paid them interest. You paid them extra money every month because you didn't pay your credit card bills in full. But guess what? If you did what Anissa said, and if you did what Jennifer Willis said, and you pay your credit card bills off in full, you get rewards points. You get money from the credit card companies. And now you can use that money to what? Invest in dividends. So you can get your reward points, plus you can get your dividends from these companies. So that's what we are going to talk about more in detail. We have to change our mindset. We can't allow people to continuously make money from us. We have to get a piece of the pie, strategically doing that. So 1, let's talk about credit cards and how it works. And then 2, let's talk about how you can get some of that income, an extra stream of income from companies. So 1, credit cards. Someone mentioned building credit. Let's talk about credit. What is the standard FICO credit score in the United States? What is the standard FICO credit score in the United States? What's that range? It's a range of credit scores. What's that standard range of credit scores that you can have? That's something that's really important. And if you have no idea what your credit score is right now, I want you to go on annualcreditreport.com because this year you get free weekly credit reports. Did you hear that? Free weekly credit reports. So if you watch your credit, monitor your credit, and find out what areas you can improve on, you can increase your credit for 2021. So get your credit report on annualcreditreport.com. But tell me, type in the comments, what's the standard range of credit scores? Is it 500 to 700? What is that standard range? What's the lowest amount and what's the highest credit score you can have? What's the lowest credit score that anybody can have for FICO? And what's the highest credit score someone can have? We need to know this because we need to know where we stand when it comes to credit. Okay, somebody came through with the answer. Warren Edwards, 300 to 850. That is the range. Yes, you nailed it. 300 to 850. So 300 is the lowest credit score. And if you want perfection, you get that 850. But usually if you're over 770, you're getting the same rates anyway. You get the best rates when you have the best credit. Yes, Jennifer Willis, highest score is 850. That's the highest score. Everyone wants to be in that coveted 800 credit score range. And I'm going to tell you how to get in that 800 credit score range because it's really easy if you know the formula. I want you to know the formula. I want you to know the credit score range, 300 to 850, so that if you have a 400, you know that you have to do some work to bring it up, because what happens when you have a 400 credit score? That means you pay more in interest. You pay more for everything, and people can discriminate against you easily because of your low credit score. Your credit score are synonymous to adulting. It's like the grades you get as a full-blown adult. It's the grades you get for being a responsible financial adult. So if you're not taking care of business, your credit score grade will be bad, and lenders will be hesitant to lend to you. And if they do lend to you, they're going to make a lot of money off of you. They're going to say, we're going to charge you a 20-30% interest rate because your credit score is low, so low, because we don't trust you, because we don't feel like you've done a good job at adulting, and we don't know if you'll be able to pay us back. So now you have to pay us more money to use our credit card. That's how it works. But let's look at these 5 components of the credit score so you can know what you need to do to increase your score. Number 1, payment history. If you want to build your credit fast, work on your payment history. Your payment history is 1 out of 5 of the factors that influence your credit score. Now, payment history accounts for how much of your credit score. Is it 10% of your credit score, 15%, 20%, 35%, 45%? How much does payment history influence your credit score? Let me know in the comments, because payment history is most important. What that means is you want to pay your bills on time. If you pay your bills late, you will be penalized. So if your bill is due on the 15th, you have a bit of a grace period, but if you don't pay it before that grace period is over with, you will be penalized. You will be paying interest, and your credit score may be impacted. One way you want to see if your credit score is impacted is by calling your bank. Ask your bank, when do they report your payments, your monthly payments, to the credit agencies? Ask your bank, when do they report your payment history to the credit agencies? Because that allows you to have that time to pay your bills before they report that and before that is reflected on your credit score. Yes, Jennifer Willis is coming through tonight. Go, Jennifer. 35% of your credit score is based on your payment history. So you want to make sure you pay your bills on time. If you have a $20 bill and you don't have to pay it in full, you just have to pay the minimum balance. But I always say pay it in full if you can, pay the most. But if you don't pay the minimum balance, you are considered late. Pay that minimum balance. Set a reminder on your phone, wherever you set your reminders, to let you know, hey, I got to pay this. Don't say it by the deadline. So if the deadline is October 15th, don't say by October 15th. Say October 12th to give yourself some extra time. Make sure you pay it on time, or the credit card companies will penalize you. And let's say you have so many bills due on the 1st of the month. Guess what? You can call your credit card company and change your payment date. You don't have to pay your bill on the 15th. You can say, hey, or the 1st, or whenever you pay your bill, you can say, can I change my payment date to the 22nd? because that allows you to optimize your cash flow. You don't have a lot of cash going out the first week of the month. Now you have some cash going out the first week of the month and some going out the third week to pay that credit card. So it helps you better manage your cash flow throughout the month. That makes sense? These are tricks you can use to build your credit. Just changing the date can help you reduce your debt, because you can use those dates and align it with your payment dates, with when you're going to get paid at work or from your passive sources of income. So you can divide your credit card dates, call your credit card companies so that you don't have to pay everything on the first day. Number 2, what is the second factor that influences your credit score? Jennifer let us know that payment history is 35%, but what is the second factor that influences your credit score? It's amounts owed. And how much? What's the percentage of that that's reflected in your overall credit? Amounts owed is how much of your credit score. So let's say you owe $1,000 and your total credit that you get. So let's say you have a Victoria's Secret card. You have $1,000 on your Victoria's Secret card. You have a Best Buy card. You have $2,000 on there. And you have what other card? So $2,000 on the Best Buy card, $1,000 on the Victoria's Secret, and American Express. You have $2,000. So that's $5,000 total credit, right? You owe $1,000. So $1,000 divided by 5,000 is 20%. That means you owe 20%. You've utilized, people will call it your credit utilization rate. Your credit utilization rate is 20%. You want to decrease your credit utilization rate, how much credit you've used. The more you decrease that number, the higher your credit score is, okay? That's an equation that you can use to manage your credit. Jennifer Willis, yes, 30%. Jennifer, are you in credit? You are doing so well with these credit questions. I love it, Jennifer. I love it. 30% equals utilization, your credit utilization. You want to decrease that number, because if you are looking to buy a home and you have a high credit utilization rate, no, you might not be able to buy that home. So you want to decrease your credit utilization rate. Number 3, third factor impacting your credit score is the length of your credit history. So if your credit history is new, 1 year, then that's going to impact your credit score. If your credit history, if you've had accounts open for 6 or 7 years or 8 years, that's going to be great for your credit score. What percentage is your length of credit history? What percentage is your length of credit history? So we already have 65% taken care of. If you pay your bills on time, and if you pay your bills and don't use all of your credit and pay down your bills, then you'll be able to get 65% of your credit score taken care of and build your credit. Jennifer said she's not, but she studied for a long time, and that's how she got her credit to a good score. You go, Jennifer. Yes, you got to know this stuff. If you want a good credit score, you have to study credit and know what factors influence your credit. 15% is your length of credit. Yes, Jennifer Willis, 15% equals length of credit. So be careful when you're closing down accounts. If you close down your first account and you've had it for 10 years and all of your other credit cards are very new, you've only had them for 2 years, be careful. Your credit score can go down because now your average length of your credit history is low. It's 1 year. If that 10-year credit score is gone, if you tell the company that you want to close that account, that 10-year account that you had, and now you only have 1 year accounts, that means your average credit length is 1 year. That's horrible. That's bad. So don't close down your oldest credit. Let your credit age, because that helps your credit score. Now, new credit. New credit equals how much of your overall credit score. New credit. So let's say you get new credit card. or any type of new credit. How does that influence your credit score? We have payment history 35%, amounts owed 30%, length of credit history 15%. So we only have 20% left. How is that divided? New credit is how much? New credit. So if you get a new credit card, so a lot of people say get new credit cards is bad, but it actually might boost your credit score. That's what happened to me. Getting a new credit card only is 10% of your score, but if you get a new credit card, that might decrease your credit utilization. How does that work? Let's say I have one credit card and it has $1,000 on it, and I spent $500. Well, spending $500 with a total credit limit of $1,000, that means it's a 50% credit utilization rate. Let's say I get a new credit card. I get a new Chase credit card or American Express or Capital One. Get one of those credit cards. And it has a, let's say, $9,000 balance. $9,000 credit limit. So that means $9,000 now is added to the $1,000 originally that I had, and that's $10,000. So that $500. So now my credit utilization rate is very low. It's 500 divided by 10,000. 500 divided by 10,000. That's less than 10% credit, is like a 5% credit utilization rate. So 5% versus 50% just because you got a new credit card. So now your credit score goes up. Jennifer, yep, 10% for new credit. And the last piece of your credit score is credit mix. Do you have loans? Do you have credit cards? Student loans, auto loans, mortgage loans, credit cards. What is your mix of that? That comprises your credit mix. So we have, let me review this. Payment history, 35%. Amounts owed, 30%. Length of credit history, 15%. New credit, 10%. Credit mix, 10%. Those are the 5 components of your credit score. Go to annualcreditreport.com so that you can get your free weekly credit reports and know where you stand as far as your credit and know where you can really make a big difference. Because if you're not paying your bills on time, or if you owe a lot of money on your credit card, then you can decrease that amount and watch your credit score just grow exponentially in a short period of time. Okay, so that's the debt piece of it. So with that information, you should be able to get a 700 plus credit score easily within a year, depending on where you stand and depending on how much debt you have and what you're willing to do to eliminate that debt, or whatever other factor of your credit score needs work. You can put yourself in a position to get a 600, 700 in a very short period of time if you are focused. Now, let's look at the benefits of managing your credit. So people who have studied their credit, they understand their numbers. Guess what? You get to benefit in many ways. You get to benefit from everybody else who does not pay their credit on time. The world is yours now. So let's say you go to the store, you spend $100 on groceries. 2 days later, you pay off your credit card bill. Now you owe nothing. But guess what? If you have a credit card rewards card, you get a percentage of that money back that you spent, which is really awesome. So instead of using my cash, I can use my credit card to make some money from my from the credit card rewards they are giving me. Now you build up those credit card rewards. If you get the cash, you can use that cash to buy dividend paying stocks, which is awesome. It's like a system here. Once you do good, more good things come to you. The more you focus on your financial health, more opportunities open up for you. I know you've heard the saying, like, the poorer you are, the easier it is to be poor. Like, I don't remember the saying completely, but it takes money to make money. And then the more money you have, the more money flows in your direction. So now, because you're practicing smart habits with your credit, you're getting money, and now you get to use that money that you're getting to make more money. Now you can change the script. Instead of paying credit card companies every month, you can get money from credit card companies by being an investor. How many people invest here? Type in the comments if you invest. How many people invest? And did you know that you can invest in credit card companies? Credit card companies are publicly traded. You have Visa, MasterCard. They are all publicly traded on the stock market. Any company that is publicly traded, that means they are giving shares to the public. You can buy and sell stocks on these exchanges. And credit cards are one of the companies that you can buy. And so now you've changed the script. You've put yourself in a completely different mindset and a completely different bracket, because you're not giving up your money. You're getting a piece of the profits. Credit cards are getting tons of money. So why can't you get any of those, that fund? And if you want to know how it all works, I am the author of Dividends Are a Queen's Best Friend. I released it last year. Great reviews. It's female friendly. It walks you through the process of getting dividends. What are dividends? Dividends are an extra stream of income. We keep talking about extra streams of income because I want you to look at your expenses and ask yourself, is there a way for me to turn this expense into an extra stream of income? I want you to start looking at your money and your decisions differently. I always talk about building a stock portfolio that's bigger than your shoe collection. Why? Because let's say you buy a shoe. You wear that shoe every day. In 10 years, nobody will want your stinky, smelly shoe. You won't be able to get more money for your shoe if it's worn out with holes, smells. Nobody else is going to want your shoe. But if you invest in the shoe store, you spend $10 on an investment in the shoe store. 10 years later, that money has the chance to grow. People ask me, but can I lose money? Guess what? If you bought those shoes, you probably already lost money. If you continuously buy shoes without getting any return on your investment, you already lost money. So stop thinking about, will I lose money? Change your mentality and start thinking about, okay, I don't just want the shoe. I want the entire shoe store. I don't just deserve that one pair of shoes. I deserve to earn a recurring stream of income from the things that I am passionate about. That's how you start making money, from the things you are passionate about. A lot of people are very materialistic, and I used to be one of those people. So that's why I talk about it all the time. In my 20s, I would just easily give up my money so that I could just get anything that looked good or smelled good or whatever. And when I got in my 30s, I was like, wait, I'm giving up my money and not getting anything in return? And no, I want to live a fly retirement. I don't want to have to wait until I'm 50 to retire. I want to be able to take a sabbatical. Last year, or the last 5 years, I took a 5-year sabbatical. How? Because I changed how I thought about my money. Instead of me giving up my money all the time, I started receiving money. I started making better decisions. Your net worth is the sum of all the decisions that you are making every day. What decisions are you making? Are you investing in those potato chips? Or are you investing in a potato chip company? Because those potato chips every day probably won't do you any good and probably will cause more health concerns, right? And so by investing in the stock market, you give yourself a chance to win. That's what it's all about. Give yourself a chance to win. Give yourself a chance to live your dream life. Give yourself a chance to be financially free. Give yourself a chance to not be in bondage because of debt. Give yourself a chance to live and be all that you can be. We all have a purpose, and we limit that purpose when we give up our money. But when you find a way to get extra streams of income from the things that you love, you provide more opportunities for yourself. You create a different type of life. That's what it's all about, making better decisions. So if you got a credit card, pay it off. And be mindful of those decisions that you are making so that you don't have to worry about debt. I never want to be in a position where I have to owe somebody for the rest of my life. Don't do that. Be in a position where people give you money for the rest of your life. Don't be in bondage. And Warren Edwards said, how do I take a sabbatical? You create a plan. It is possible to do that. It is so possible to do that. You want to know how? We can talk about that next week. Next week, we will talk about how much does it cost to be you. Because if you know how much it costs to be you, and if you decrease those costs, you don't have to work as hard. You can work half as much and get the same amount of benefits. Oh, that's some juicy stuff. You can work half as much and get more benefits. So last year really didn't work. I traveled more using my cards, and I was receiving money from these credit card companies because of the sign-up incentives, because of the dividends, and all of that. So, oh my God, so many goodies. Who learned something? Yes, if you learned something. If you enjoyed tonight's Money Monday session, put yes in the comments. Let me know. Share this with a friend. Share it with somebody else. It's time to change the game. It's time to do what we were born to do. Get out of the debt cycle and join the Dividend Circle with me. I am the founder of Wealthy Women Daily. You can catch me there at Wealthy Women Daily. I started a club, the Dividend Investor. So if you don't know how dividends work and you need insights every month, the Dividend Investor, INVESTHER, is available to help you get started. And Dividends Are a Queen's Best Friend is available on Amazon if you have no idea how dividends work. Some people are like, oh, dividends, it's just 5 cents here, 10 cents here. But if you're committed, what happens? It can be $1,000 here and $1,000 there. So it all depends on the person, but we are coming back next week for Money Mondays to talk about this sabbatical and how you could potentially take a sabbatical. Why do you have to wait until a standard retirement age to live your best life? Why can't you live your best life when you have the energy and passion to do it? That is important. Living the life that you want right now and preparing for your future. You can have both. You can have a life you want now and a life you want later. Yes, I'm so glad you learned something new, Tequila Banks. All right. I'm tuning out. Money Mondays. Join me at Wealthy Women Daily. Get your copy of Dividends Are a Queen's Best Friend so we can talk about dividends and answer all of your dividend questions. And join a Dividend Investor for more insights. Let's go. Have an amazing week. Money Mondays. Bye-bye.